The General's Corner in the sun-baked streets of a small southern town named Tally Ridge. Change had always come slow, like molasses on a cold morning. Though the calendar read 2025, many of its hearts still ticked to the rhythm of the 1950s. On Main Street, wedged between a rusted-out pawnshop and a greasy diner, sat Corner Supply, a general store that had survived segregation, war, economic collapse, and modern retail. It was one of those places where the floorboards creaked like they remembered every insult, every secret, and every lie ever told under its roof. One sweltering Friday, the screen door of the store creaked open. A man walked in tall, dark-skinned, broad-shouldered, and bald-headed. His gait was measured, his spine straight as a rifle barrel. Dressed in a plain polo shirt tucked neatly into pressed slacks, he wore only one badge of his past, a silver pendant shaped like a pair of worn combat boots. The bell above the door jangled a nervous tune. Behind the counter stood Everett Lang, a man with liver spots like spilled coffee and eyes dulled by decades of small-town resentment. His two sons, thick-necked and cocky, flanked him like bouncers at a club nobody wanted to enter. The moment the veteran stepped in, they froze like a cold snap had struck the store. Lang's mouth curled. "Don't think we got what you're looking for." The veteran said nothing. He glanced around slowly, as if assessing the weight of the dust on the shelves, the cracks in the glass jars, the bullet holes in the past. "Sir," Everett said louder, voice cracking with authority he thought still meant something. "I said I heard you." The man's a manin, his voice deep, calm. "But I ain't here to buy anything." The sons moved in closer, puffing their chests. "Then what are you doing here?" The man turned, walking toward the counter, his eyes scanning the room as though memorizing a battlefield. He stopped before them, pulled a folded envelope from his pocket, and dropped it on the counter. It was thick legal paper. Notarized. Everett picked it up with trembling fingers and read the top line aloud. "Transfer of deed. Corner Supply Company from Everett Lang to..." He faltered. "Colonel Malcolm R. Boone." The man smiled, though it was tight and weathered. "That's me." Silence cracked through the room like thunder. One of the sons muttered, "This some kind of joke." Malcolm Boone didn't flinch. "Served 26 years. Tours in Iraq, Afghanistan, Syria. Took a bullet saving one of your cousins over in Kandahar. Retired as a full bird colonel. Used my pension and some back pay to buy this store fair and square. Got tired of waiting for this town to change. Figured I'd buy the corner of it and start from there." Everett's face was drained of color. "But this store's been in my family for 70 years. Boone looked him straight in the eye. "And for 70 years, black folks weren't welcome past the candy aisle." A young girl entered the store behind Boone, about 8 years old, holding the hand of a woman in scrubs. His daughter and granddaughter. The child looked around with wonder. "Is this really yours, Grandpa?" He crouched and smiled at her. "Ours, sweetheart. We own it now." She ran to a dusty candy jar, the kind her grandfather had never been allowed to touch when he was her age, and pulled out a piece of taffy. The woman in scrubs approached and said quietly, "We really doing this?" Boone nodded. "We are." Without another word, Everett and his sons backed away, as if the walls themselves had shifted. As if the store no longer recognized them. Boone pulled a set of keys from his pocket, walked behind the counter, and opened the old register. It clanked like it hadn't breathed in years. He turned the store lights a little brighter, swept the dust off the sign that said OPEN and hung it proudly in the front window. Within days, word spread. Some folks refused to come back, claiming they'd been betrayed. But others, long shut out and silenced, walked through that door with tears in their eyes and coins in their palms, and every time someone asked how it all started, Boone would smile and say, "I didn't walk in to make trouble. I walked in because it was time." The General's Corner became more than a store. It became a symbol. not of revenge, but of reclamation, of healing, of history rewritten, one shelf at a time.